Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. We are here for a reading. We're going to see what the energy is, what we're feeling. Open up some sacred space. Call on our guides, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron. Please open sacred space for us. Oh, you guys, this smells so good. I love the smell of matches. Please open up sacred space. Only allow the highest and whitest light messages to come through. Bless me. Bless my cards. Bless my beautiful viewers. All right. Here we go. I am back from my trip and I felt like a surge of energy come over me when I came back. It literally felt like I took a drug. I was like, I have all this creativity and I have all this energy and oh my gosh, I don't know what to do with it all. And I had like so many things that I wanted to share on my social media platforms. And for some reason, I felt guided to share a ton of health stuff. So I don't know if that's some sort of indication of something coming, because anytime I do that, it's usually a prerequisite, I guess you could say. Like we're gonna need this information for what's about to happen. So I kept feeling guided to share like the healthy things I'm putting in my body, castor oil, ginger shots, stuff to like clean up our act. I also was hired to make celery juice for a couple of my friends who are struggling with ailments. So I juiced a bunch of celery for them. They bought the jars, dropped them off at my front door. I juiced the celery and then they're going to pick them up. So I just feel like everybody's being quickly thrown into this quick, like, we need to get our shit together and get our bodies healthy. Yeah. And also I've been watching more about the 3 days of darkness. If you're new to my channel, I love to be educated and prepare. I used to be someone, if you would have asked me 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I was a scaredy cat. And the thought of hearing about the awful things in our world, I couldn't even hear it. I was so sensitive. And now I'm like, tell me everything because I want to be prepared. I'm stronger now. My nervous system is stronger now. And that's due to healing. So if you're on a healing journey and you're in the phase that I was in, where the thought of like more bad things happening makes you cringe, that's okay. You're not always going to be that way. You're going to grow through that and you're going to become stronger and you're going to get more resilient and you're going to be prepared. You know, like I have 7 cases of water in my closet right now in case the grid goes down and we don't have running water, right? Like I know that anything is possible now. I don't know if you guys remember, but remember when I was talking about how I was having dreams of flooding and water around the house that I was in? I was dreaming of tsunamis. And right now in the Midwest, there's a ton of flooding in Minnesota, in Iowa. So it's like all of these premonitions are coming true. I just don't know when they happen. So I always like to be prepared. You know what I mean? Like in that case, if somebody had water in their home, they wouldn't even have access to their home because it would be flooded. So like there's so many different things that could happen. But if we were, you know, in our homes and there was no electricity, there was no running water, like would you be able to survive? And I think it's important for you guys to have things to feel safe in that moment, right? Because if you didn't have those things, like if I didn't have water, if I didn't have certain foods stocked up, I always have a box of my favorite protein bars in the bottom drawer of my pantry, bottom shelf, just because I want to know that if things go down, I have things that will feed me, fuel me, and I can survive off of no food for 3 days. I've done a water fast before, so I know I'm safe with that too. It's actually very healing. But I like knowing that I don't have to rely on somebody else, right? And I always keep the tank of my Jeep filled. I always have a full tank, just because I want to be able to have gas, you know, to go places. Because obviously, if there's no electricity, you're not going to be able to, the pumps are not going to work. So, and also with electric cars, they're not going to work if the grid goes down. So it's always just being like, okay, like worst case scenario, if there's a storm or if there's something in the solar system that happens, that causes our whole entire grid to collapse, I want to make sure where I am, I'm safe and protected. So I would recommend you doing the same for you, and be prepared, educate yourself on this stuff. And if you're sensitive, that's okay. I was there too. You will eventually come out of it. Just slowly take in this information. and do what feels right for you. You know, some people like to believe, well, I don't need to prepare. My neighbors will prepare, or my family will prepare. Or, you know, you always have that one aunt or cousin or somebody who's like me and is like really into this stuff and wants to have everything in my house. You know, I have certain friends who they have basements filled with stuff and little bunkers. So like I know I have resources too, but I also want to be a strong woman who can provide for herself in those scary situations, because I don't have a partner, I don't have a husband, and I have to take care of myself. So that message is for somebody out there. It's time to start taking care of ourselves and not expecting the worst. I'm not going to manifest this, right? We're not going to be thinking about this all the time, but we just have it just as a backup. But do not focus on it. First card, death and rebirth. And we got this in our last reading. So this is Scorpio energy. Anytime I see this card, I just think of it, it's like a super passionate energy. If you think about red, red is the color of passion, fiery energy. And inside the hoodie, I like to call it a hoodie, there's like this awakening moment, right? And it looks like Colorado to me. So maybe there's a connection to Colorado for somebody, but maybe you're being drawn there. Maybe that's a location that you're being pulled towards. In your psyche, it's saying nature is where you need to be. As you're going through this awakening, as you're healing, as you're growing and expanding, you need to be outside in nature. Today, I went with my friend Linda, and she used to own a horse, and unfortunately, her horse passed away. But she still goes to the farm and takes care of other horses and the animals for her friend. So I was like, can I come? I was like, I love like just being out in nature and stuff. And she's like, yeah. So me, her, and her daughter all went in my Jeep. I took her daughter for a ride in my Jeep, and we all went to the farm. And it was so fun to just be in nature and to be with the animals and to feel their energy. Horses are like so majestic. And they're very, very, very intuitive. So if they feel that you're scared to ride them, they will be scared. So we have to always be mindful. We have to be very, very confident around certain animals because they can sense our energy. Okay, we have the moon card. And I always see this as there's a white wolf and a black wolf. So this is the yin yang energy and balance, but it's really somebody who's deep in their emotions. They feel like they're drowning. You feel like, you know, you don't know which way's up. You're like, I see the moon, I see where the light is, but I just can't get there. Like, why am I so deep in my emotions about the situation? And the fact that these two are together, it's almost like after a really emotional time, you're going through an awakening. You're realizing, oh, this is what I need to do in my life. This is what I need to take action on. This is what I need to stop doing. And a lot of you guys that are drawn to my channel are new on the journey. You know, you're freshly spiritually awakened within the last year. And for some of you who've been awakened for years, you know, I awakened in 2018. My first awakening was 2012, but my real spiritual awakening was 2018 when I started to meditate, when I started to go get my Reiki certification. I started to physically take action to do my mission. But I was appreciating life and knowing that there was more to life in 2012 after my daughter passed away. So this energy is saying like somebody's newly awakening and you're wondering why you have so many emotions. You're wondering why you feel like you suck at life. You don't. You're just getting started. When we awaken, it is like a light switch turns on and we have to purge the whole entire old version of us that had been living all of these years. We now have to get rid of that. Do you know how hard that is? And it's not something we physically have to do. It just happens. You're just going to go through these cycles of healing, these cycles of synchronicities, and it can be really joyful one day and really painful the next. And that's what an awakening is you just are out of control and your body starts to purge all the trauma. You start to feel like you hate your job and you're like, well, what am I doing here? What is my purpose? I know I'm meant for more. And every single soul is going through this. Okay, you're not alone. And that's why I created my community. So if you want to join my community, it's called Awaken Your Magic. Go over there and you can share your synchronicities, you can share your signs, you can let us know when you're struggling. And there's a bunch of people in there that will support you. So you're not alone. Seven of Swords. Okay, to me, this is kind of like, it's somebody around you, I just heard, who's not being honorable. So it's like lies and deception. And maybe I just heard it's the ego that was created in childhood for you. You've been following that voice and listening to the ego. And now you're going through this death and rebirth, realizing, oh, wow, I'm not that person in the hoodie. I'm no longer going to lie, cheat, steal, people please. I'm going to finally say no to everybody else and choose myself. So it could be this is like the crows are calling at you saying, hey, don't do that anymore. Don't lie, don't hide yourself, don't steal, be honorable. You might be experiencing chaos in your life because it's time to stop those old patterns. It's funny because I saw the magician card at the bottom of the deck and I was like, should I grab that? And I was like, no, it'll come back out if it's meant to. And here it is. And I also just heard that the Seven of Swords could be a divine masculine who was not honorable. They did not honor you, they disrespected you, but that's because they feared you. They didn't recognize you. They didn't realize that you were the safe one. And now they're realizing their magic. Now they're realizing that they can co-create their reality. They're the magician and they want to co-create with you. They want to live life with you. This could also mean that you're awakening and realizing that you're the magician of your own reality. You are not going to partake in the deception, in the people pleasing. This is all like, this is a card of like just not being a good person. And we're done with that. That's why there's the death. You're done. You're letting go of that old layer of who you are and you're awakening to your truth. And your truth is all about possibility. This is the when pigs fly card. You know that saying where, yeah, that will happen when pigs fly because pigs don't fly. But this is saying they do fly. Pigs are flying on this card. Look at the top corner. So the Page of Cups is all about magic and believing in something we can't see, feel, or touch. Is it possible? Can I have this? Can I have this dream person? Can I co-create this with somebody else? And you're literally just trusting that it does exist. And the King of Swords is leery. He's like, and he's kind of like merging these two energies. This is like a young guy who's new on the journey. He's like, oh, I wonder if this could happen. And the older, more mature man who's very, very logical is like, I don't know. They're merging both energies. It's a balance of both. Somebody who's very logical, they're starting to listen to the spirit animals all around them, and they're believing in the magic. They're starting to see how it's a possibility to be with you or to leave the job and co-create their own reality. They're becoming the magician. And in all of these cards, it's all men, except for the moon card. Interesting, right? Which is the dark feminine. So let's get some Micah magic on each of these cards. I can pick it up. Okay, so let's get confirmation on the death card. Spirit, what about the death card? Destiny has a plan for you. Let go of the need to know. So we just have to trust this death. There's an ending, and destiny has a plan for you. You are here for a bigger purpose. We said that earlier. The older version of you is dying, and it's time to step forward into your purpose. Start believing that you're here for a bigger purpose. Thank your guides for all you have, and birds before land. Interesting, there's a lot of birds in this card. So when we're out at sea and we start to see birds, that means a manifestation is on the way. So hold the line. Thank your guides for all that you have. They're leading you. The birds are leading you to your desires. So if you've been seeing crows, if you've been seeing finches, really cool birds out in nature, they're leading you. Okay, I don't know what flipped, but we're going to use all these. We have cleanse your energy and be mindful of your thoughts. So these go hand in hand because sometimes we get caught up on the journey and we start thinking about what we don't want in our life. And we have to start replacing those thoughts with what we do want. Remember, we're the magician. So when you're going through the death and the rebirth, you're no longer listening to the Seven of Swords card, which is the ego, the deception, the lies. The ego will lie and try to convince you to stay small. It doesn't believe you have a bigger purpose. It's like, no, we just need to stay safe and not go that way. where the soul is like, go that way. And you have to think positively about it. And on the way, you're going to have to learn how to cleanse your energy, because there's going to be other people with the same Seven of Swords energy. They're going to try to pull you off track. They're going to try to keep you from doing your mission. And they're beautifully designed so that you learn to be a no girl or a no guy. When you start your mission, you have to say no to family, to friends, to things that pull you out of your mission. And I'm learning that lesson right now. It's like you have to compromise. You have to literally say, like, I'm sorry, I can't go have a coffee date. So, a friend could pick my brain knowing the work that I do. I can't be giving my energy away freely anymore when I need to provide for myself and grow my business. I have to be so zoned in and not distracted. So you have to become a no guy or a no girl, meaning you're saying no to anything that takes you away from your mission work. And that's being mindful of your thoughts too, to not doubt yourself. But you're also cleansing your energy. Oh, good. I was going to say, I thought one flipped and I couldn't find it. You're deciding between two options. Do I stay distracted or do I go full blown on my mission? And for me, I think that's either like me creating a course or me starting a new program or me writing a book. I don't know where I'm being led right now. Or, amping up my community and doing something more, because I took like a break and it just kept breaking. Like I just kept not going back to it. And anytime I burp, it's my throat chakra. They're interrupting my speech to make a point that sometimes it's okay to take a break. And sometimes you might be on social media and maybe you have a YouTube channel and you only have 40 subscribers. That's 40 people though. Think about it. If you're in a room with 40 people, that's a lot of people to be listening to you. So don't get caught up in the social media world of, I need to have, 500,000 subscribers. If you have 10 people in front of you, appreciate them. God put those 10 people in front of you for a reason. And maybe you need some practice learning how to be a leader before you reach the masses. Okay, love is all around you. Those 15, 10 people, trust that they are meant for you, and heal yourself and you help others heal. Yep. So as you begin your healing journey, you are going to really see the benefit of your work. You're going to see people around you change. You're going to see your family change. Okay, I feel guided to do Angel Wisdom Tarot. This feels like a morning message today. When I first started YouTube, I did morning messages every morning at 10 a.m. And that's how I got addicted to the time that I post my videos. It was because I was newly on this journey, just quit my teaching job, didn't know what I was doing. I had like 20 subscribers, and every morning I just committed to doing morning messages and morning cards. And so right now it feels like that time again. Feels good. You guys, we got the Magician again. Magic is alive in your life. What you need to be a success will manifest. If you believe it, you can do it. I got this card last night for myself, the Seven of Cups. Make a choice. Stop procrastinating or overanalyzing. Get clarity on what you desire and move forward. Too many options or addictions. And this was me not knowing which way to go. And I'm actually going to be doing some plant medicine for Micah's birthday, my daughter. She turns 12 on July 13th. So I'm flying to Texas and I'm going to do some plant medicine. I'm so pumped. I'm going to do it with my friend Jillian and a couple other people who I trust. And I'm looking for answers too. And I believe that, we can do work on our nervous system. We can work with coaches. We can work with healers. And then I also know that plant medicine has a purpose. So it can speak to us and it can talk to us and tell us, the things that we can't see. And I also want to release more of my fears, because I noticed that the people that I had attracted in my reality in the past 3 years, they were very fearful and they were very stuck in their lives. So I noticed that, wow, I was attracting that. So that means I'm very fearful and I'm very stuck. So I want to unstuck myself. So I'm doing new things, doing different things to expand my consciousness, to really see who I am and what I came here to do and how I can serve even more. Like that's what I'm wondering. How can I serve in a way that makes me happy and that also serves my mission? So I'm going to be doing some plant medicine on July 13th. I cannot wait. I'll report back. I'll probably do a video on all of it. But you guys, I've never even smoked a cigarette. So this will be so scary for me. The only thing I've ever done is alcohol. And I've only gotten like super intoxicated once my freshman year in college. And it was a really scary scenario. I kind of stopped drinking for 2 years after that. And then I only drink at like weddings or something like that. But I've never fully like allowed something to take me over. I always like to be in control. So I'm super, super scared, but I'm excited. So making a choice, stop procrastinating, expanding yourself and going to retreats or working with me. Maybe I can mentor you. This is where the procrastination ends. You're like, I'm being different. I'm done waiting. I'm done sitting and doing nothing. I'm taking action in my life and I'm going to give myself a new experience with new people. And this is huge. When you're looking to be the magician in your life, to co-create, you cannot surround yourself with people who are not a match to you. It is going to be a struggle to manifest when you're surrounded by lower vibrational people and people that are not supporting you and lifting you up. So make sure you're mindful of that. Be that no guy and no girl, right? You're saying no. And I always say the yes guy and the yes girl. Saying no sounds funny, the no guy, no girl. But you're saying no to distractions because you realize that, wow, those people are not elevating my energy. They're draining my energy. And in order for you to be the magician, and notice I've stuttered a couple times in this reading. So Spirit's really trying to get your attention here, that in order for you to co-create and to serve in your mission, we have to remove the distractions. We have to relieve ourselves of these so-called obligations that we're putting on ourselves that don't need to be there, and opening ourselves up to new ways of doing things. And I'm not saying that everybody should go do plant medicine. I'm not saying everybody should not do it. I'm just saying, listen to what's calling you. I woke up one day and I was like, I need to do this. I need to expand my consciousness. I feel stuck. I need to just blast myself out of this fear and forgive myself for the past and just move forward with grace and with ease and excitement and feeling like I have this new passion for what I'm doing, because I do feel a little stagnant. Okay, let's do an angel deck to see if these messages are resonating for you guys and to see how we can expand further on this topic. Okay, 33. This is a blessing in disguise. Be patient and have faith that your angels have the situation under control. What will come is far better than you dared to dream. Okay, I just filmed a video the other day about how if you're, on this journey and you're like, Michelle, my manifestation should have arrived 2 months ago. I don't know where it is. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. What the heck? This card is for you. It says, what will come is far better than you dared to dream. So you might not even have thought you were worthy of having something so amazing, but yet you manifested it, right? You're manifesting it. It hasn't arrived yet physically, but a little piece of you is like, but will it ever arrive? This is a big manifestation. This is saying, yes, it will. It's a blessing in disguise. The drought that you're in, if you've been waiting months or 10 years, if you're waiting for so long for this thing to arrive, it's a blessing. There's some sort of good that's coming your way that you couldn't even see. And that's what that video is all about. It's telling you that if you've been in the waiting zone and you're like, what the heck? It should have arrived by now. This is the longest I've been without this thing, and I'm really scared now. This is for you. It's on the way. It's been a blessing. Okay, let's do an animal card, Spirit Animal Wisdom. I just saw the squirrel at the bottom of the deck, which is spiritual maintenance, taking care of your physical vessel. Oh, we have Lady Luck. Yes, the ladybird. All of your manifesting and positive thoughts and visualizations have been heard. So if you're seeing ladybugs, again, I'm stuttering. If you're seeing ladybugs, it's on the way. This is Spirit literally confirming everything I just said about how it's been a blessing that you had to wait this long. When you start to see ladybugs, that means it's getting closer. Lady Luck. Luck is on your side. Okay. We're going to do Kim Cran's The Wild Unknown Spirit Animal deck. This is the deck that I use for my monthly animal spread, where I give you an animal for every single month of the year. Okay, we have the octopus and the turtle. So the octopus is all about pulling your tentacles back, cleansing your energy, and not engaging in activities and with people who are low vibrational. You are literally slow moving like the turtle. You're gathering your wisdom, you're pulling your tentacles back, and you're having this awakening moment. Look at his third eye. His crown chakra area and third eye is awakening. It's colorful. It's sparking with more energy. And that's because you're going into your shell and you're not allowing other people to take your energy. It's an energy leak. When you're going to lunch with a friend, when you're in the middle of creating something or saving money, or when you're saying yes to things that drain your energy, and maybe they don't drain your energy, but your energy could be used somewhere else, you're not going to be as efficient with what you're creating or what you're trying to do with your energy. So the turtle is saying, go into your shell. The octopus is saying, pull all of your tentacles back. And this, to me, I just thought of, they just give me a vision of each tentacle. Every time you text somebody, your tentacle is attached to that person's phone and you're feeling their energy. So put down your phone. You do not have to respond to people unless it's your family and they need you, or if it's a client that's paying you. You respond to those people, but anybody that's not paying you and is not an intimate, family member that you want and need to keep in touch with, you don't respond to anybody else, and preserve your energy. Okay. Two messages. When you want to receive a manifestation, you have to be in this energy of making sure that your field is pristine. You cannot be off giving all of your energy away and then coming home so drained at night being like, why did I do that to myself? Why did I just go there? Why did I just spend an hour with this person? Even if it's something as simple as, every time you leave your house, maybe you have like a couple neighbors or one neighbor and they always talk your ear off. You just time it. If you see them outside, don't go outside. If you do, just make sure you're diligent about going a different way or something. Okay. I got my low battery coming on. Let's see. We're going to charge her up. Perfect. Okay, my cord is going to be a little in the way. I wonder if I can, yeah. Got that fixed. All right, we're going to keep going. All right, Spirit, what about the future manifestation? What about the future manifestation that's coming in? What do we need to know? Wow, the sea serpent. It's an awakening. Look at the eye. The sea serpent is wrapping itself around this eye. It's a full heart chakra awakening and you seeing more of your motherly energy. You're mothering yourself, you're nurturing yourself, you're wrapping yourself around you, saying, I got you, inner child. You now see clearly of who is taking your energy, who is not good for you. You are seeing your worth. Something that happened to me recently, which I'm really, really pumped about, was I left a situation that was toxic, right? Engaging with certain people that were toxic. And in the last month, I have manifested so many amazing masculine men who honor me. They buy me things. They're literally, and not about money, but you know what I mean? Like they're just doing things to make sure that I'm safe, that I'm protected, and I'm provided for. And it was so lovely. Like even on our trip to Cali, we were all in the airport waiting for our plane, and my niece's coach came by and was asking all the girls if they wanted anything. And I kind of was like, I was really thirsty and I didn't have a water. And he was asking. So I was like, you know what? The old me would never say, oh, could you grab me a water? Just because I didn't want to be, I was a people pleaser. I didn't want to bother anyone. But now I'm like the queen energy, like I deserve to be taken care of. And even if it's not my partner, it's still the energy from the universe taking care of me. So I said, I was like, could you grab me a water? And I was the only one that asked. All the other girls were like, probably they have that energy of, I don't want to disturb somebody. So I was teaching the girls like, hey, you can ask. And then I went and grabbed $5 out of my bag to pay him, because you figure like a water in the airport is probably $5 or $6 or so expensive. So he comes back with the water and I give him the 5 and he's like, absolutely not. It's on me. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. So I felt like a queen there. Then when we get to the airport, we fly from California to Philly. We land around midnight. We have to sit on the plane for 2 hours because there was a big storm and all these other planes had to land quickly. And then they had to offload everybody. So we had to wait for 5 planes to use our gate for them to unload people. So we're just literally sitting on the plane. And then we get off and there's just a sea of bags everywhere and no people are claiming these bags. So clearly it's not the bags from our plane. And I'm talking not just one belt of bags. There's probably like 5 different planes of bags on the ground. And they were all grouped together in sections and nobody was grabbing them. There's a ton of people, but they were not a match to that. We didn't get our bags until 7 hours later. And it was 4 a.m. So we landed at 12:30. It was 4 a.m. My 21-year-old niece was waiting in the car at the airport to pick me up, and my other niece, who I was traveling with. And the same coach who got me the water came up and he was like, "You guys go home, go sleep. I'll stay in the airport. I'll get your bags for you. Send me a picture of what your luggage looks like, and I'll do this for you." And I was like, "Oh my God, he's such a masculine energy. I love him." And, he's got a wife and he's got kids at home, but he was willing to stay for us. And I felt that universal love. I felt like God was taking care of my niece and I in that situation. If I had a husband, if I had a man with me, he would have done the same thing, right? So it's that energy of the universe saying, "Michelle, you're taken care of. We are now buying you waters. We're getting your luggage for you. We're delivering it to you." And he did that. It finally arrived at like 7:30 or 7:20, I think, a.m. And then he grabbed our bags. He probably had a shit ton of luggage to put in his Uber. He went home, slept for a couple hours, and then we reconnected later that day so we could get our luggage. So I'm noticing that because I let go of a toxic energy in my life, I have now attracted all of these men who are taking care of me. And it's so cool because that didn't happen to me before, but it's because I was choosing myself. I was choosing to pull back my tentacles and to not engage with siphoning energy, with people who don't value my time, who are only looking for free advice all the time. And I'm not there to do that. And all of these people valued me and they were saying, like, oh, and I even had a conversation with one of the dads. He's like an older guy. He reminded me of my dad. He's around my dad's age. And we sat and talked for the entire soccer game on the turf. And it was such a deep conversation. He was awakened and he was just like, he has really lived life and he used to play with the Harlem Globetrotters, a professional basketball team. He traveled to 33 different countries. He just was like this badass guy who had like all these different experiences. He also worked as like for the Department of Recreation, which is like he was mowing lawns. So he was really humble and was just like, "I am here to, to do what my heart wants." But he took that job so he could be home with his kids when they were raising them. So he was like, "I don't care what kind of work I do. I want to be there when my kids get off the bus. I want to be at every sporting event." And he was like, what an awesome man, right? So I found myself talking to him and I was observing myself in the conversation, like, "Wow, Michelle, you attracted a man who is so honorable and so integral. And this is a beautiful conversation. And, I want to marry somebody like that one day who just is so willing to serve his family that he's willing to do a job, that serves him in a certain way, but his family, providing for his family was more important, and not providing money wise, providing emotional support, physically being there." And I just thought that was so admirable that somebody was so willing to take responsibility in their life to show up. And one of the things he taught me and I really valued was that I shared my loss with him and he asked me so many beautiful questions. And I felt like he could see me. I felt like he understood. He was like, "Was anybody there when you were like grieving or like when you had your suicidal thoughts?" He's like, "Was anybody like hugging you? Was anybody cooking you meals?" And I was like, "No." And that's the one thing that I've always cried about is I always wish I had somebody who could actually nurture me during that time. But I made it on my own. I did it all on my own, and that's okay too. But for him to be able to pinpoint my little thought process of what I wished would have happened, he could feel it in me. And he said, "I'm sorry that nobody was there." And I was like, "Oh my God, I feel so seen right now. Like this feels so good." I was just so glad that God brought me that conversation. So I got on the plane that night being like, I feel so good. I feel validated. I feel like I can really see my own pain and see what a warrior I am and how I survived all of that. So, for all of you listening to this long story, when you remove toxicity and you do not let people mistreat you, and just walk all over you, you literally force them out of your reality because they're clueless and they don't have any idea what they're doing, or you say no, or you choose better. However the situation unfolds, when you're pushing something out that is no longer a match to who you are, you will attract the most amazing people who will see you exactly the way that you see you. And it's because you're a mirror to that. He was reflecting back to me because I could finally fully see me. And here I am being shown a man who's now seeing me, or a woman, you know what I mean? Or one of my niece's teammates. I had a really wonderful conversation with one of my niece's teammates at dinner at a restaurant the night before the last game. And she just was so hungry to learn about all of this. And she was wondering about past lives and all of that. So when you start to really love yourself and push out the negative energy and really see yourself, you attract other people that see you. And let me tell you, it is the best feeling on the planet. You just feel so validated. And I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't looking for validation. I just happened to be sitting on this turf field in another state, 5 hours, or a 5 hour plane ride away. And here I am being reflected back how amazing I am and how much I'm a warrior. And I was like, wow, this feels so good. Yes. And then we got the spider card. So this to me is kind of like you have, I forget the saying that I always say with this, what you weave your own web of abundance. And that abundance is love and joy and peace and money. It's the rainbow. It's all the chakras. It's like everything is coming together. So when you're seeing a spider in your reality, you're being reminded that you've done the work. The work is done. The web is created. And now you're going to reap the rewards. You're going to feel that abundance. You're going to feel validated from people where your whole life you felt like nobody saw you. That's because you didn't see you. You weren't honoring you and standing up for yourself and saying, wow, this person doesn't see me. Bye. I'm going to go do the inner work so I fully see myself. Let me remove the people that don't see me. Let me stop giving my energy to them, pull my tentacles back. Because the more you engage with people who don't value you, the more you're telling the universe that you don't value you. So you say no to the toxicity, and then you open the door for all of the good to come in. And that's when you start to reap the rewards and you get your abundance and you start to feel this immense joy, peace, and happiness because your work is finally paying off. Okay, my throat is starting to hurt. So quick drinking break, and then we're going to do one more card. Okay, ever unfolding heart, we're going to end with. Anytime I start to feel drained in a reading, I know that's my guide saying, nope. Yep, move your body. It's time to go. It's yearning to release some old energy. Go for a walk, run, lift, practice yoga, swim, dance, play. You are so lucky that you can move, so do it with gratitude. And I created this card because my daughter was born with a muscle disorder. So in the process of me, I feel like I could cry right now just talking about this. Whew. This was part of like what I was talking about with that dad, was that how hard it was for me to endure the loss of my daughter. And I don't normally talk about all the details because I just don't feel a need to. I'm not going to play into the victimhood, but the reality of my situation was my daughter was born with a muscle disorder. She was a plump, juicy little baby. She was so cute and the cute little baby cheeks. And in the end, oh, I don't want to cry. I literally saw her skin and bones. Like no human should ever see a baby, like see their ribs, see their, like, it was just awful. And at the time, I was so numb. Like I was just going there acting like everything's okay. It's still her. I see the soul in her. It's not her body. She's not her body. But after talking to that dad on the soccer field, I just was like really thinking about that. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I experienced that, you know? So anytime I feel the urge to move my body, if I go to work out, it's why I post all of my workout videos on my YouTube channel and on Instagram. It's because I'm grateful because I've watched an infant not be able to move her body. She couldn't move her arms and legs. She couldn't breathe on her own. So I know that I am here in a healthy body and I'm taking care of it because she couldn't. And maybe that's a story that my ego created. I don't know, but I'm doing it because it makes me happy and it helps me survive with the pain of the grief. And every time I move my body, and this is a message for all of you, if you're grieving someone, go move. The energy has to be purged out of your body. As soon as I do sprints, I'm like 15 minutes into my sprints, I start crying because I'm able to finally release any pent up energy that I've been holding on to. But I made this card in memory of my daughter. I made both decks in memory of her. And it's because I literally watched her suffer. And I don't know what she was thinking or feeling when she was going through this. Like she was just a baby. I don't know her expressions. I don't know her personality. I don't know if she was in pain and couldn't tell us. But like for me to physically watch her plump, cute little squishy body go to like skin and bones, like, nope, no, thank you. I don't ever want to experience that again. But then a piece of me is like, I can handle it. Like it's part of life. Like we're not our bodies. That didn't happen to her soul. Her soul is fine, so I can snap myself out of it. But just, there's this like, you can have both. You can be human and really honor the pain of the physical experience here. And you can also be really spiritual and say, you know what, her soul didn't suffer. She's okay. So we can have both. So this is your reminder, the final message: move your body, be grateful you have it, but also appreciate if you've ever seen somebody suffering, or whether they're literally suffering right now. Maybe there's illness in their body and somebody's in the hospital, somebody's got an accident, like honor that. It's hard to watch your loved ones suffer. It's hard to watch and feel yourself suffer. So really sit with it. And it's okay to be grieving it. It's okay for it to be painful, because it is. There's certain things we have to see and experience, and we're choosing it on some level for growth, right? My ability to watch that happen to my daughter, that taught me so much compassion. It taught me to be so grateful for my physical form. It taught me to never miss a workout because I get to move and I'm not stuck in a hospital bed and I'm not stuck in a wheelchair. I can move. So I want to appreciate this experience here. So take your lessons of what painful event you're going through right now and see the good in it. My daughter was born with a muscle disorder. Her mom now is spending her whole life moving her body for her. That's why this card is here. So what is your story? What did you see? What did you experience? What was painful for you in your past? And then how are you moving that into your purpose? You're here for a bigger purpose, this card says. So how are you transforming that? Okay. And honor it, and, really sit with yourself. And when you're seen by other people, honor them and tell that person, thank you for seeing me in my pain. It feels really good. Yes, that did happen to me and it sucked. And thank you for honoring it. I know it was 12 years ago, but it feels really good to have you honoring it, because we always want to kind of shove it under the rug and we don't want to be a victim, or we overplay the victim and we need somebody to shake us out of that and say, hey, you still got life to live. Like, let's do something with this. So I'm giving you guys the biggest hug with whatever you've had to see that was really, really tough or experience in your own body. I'm so sorry. You're allowed to grieve it, but let's do something with it now. Let's inspire other people and go move your body. Go for a walk. Nature literally emanates a certain energy that refuels us, that keeps us healthy. So I think the first message of this reading was all about like the death and the rebirth and the moon card and facing our feelings. And we're going through this rebirth. We're becoming brand new. And that might mean changing your habits, starting to take care of yourself, pulling your energy back, being a no guy and a no girl. You're saying no to anything that drains your energy. You're mothering yourself. And when you do that, you become the magician and you can reap the rewards of all that hard work. Okay? You deserve all the blessings, and know that it's on the way. If you've been in a drought, your manifestation is on the way. All right, lovies, if you want to work with me, I do a mentorship with women for 8 weeks. I have a group coaching program. I have one-on-one readings, one-on-one coaching. I do Reiki now virtually and in person. So go to my website. Everything is linked below. If you feel called to donate to these free readings, I'd be happy to receive your energy exchange. I've been getting a couple little $10 donations and I love it. It just feels so good that people are receiving something from this, because you guys watch and you like it, but I don't know what you're really taking from it. I don't know if it's really helping. So when you donate, I'm like, okay, it was definitely a good one, because they're actually willing to share their love via money, and they're thanking me. So thank you in advance. If you're donating, again, those links are below. My PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, all that jazz is down there. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one, and thank you for supporting me and my channel. All right, peace out.